He believes very much in his bees.
An old man superstition. He thinks honey is medicine.
It is medicine.
I was an orphan. I had nothing, just bad dreams. I went to live with my grandfather. Last year we came to America. Maybe you would want to work together with us.
Yeah, work with us.
I'm not working with a terrorist.
I love you, Ali. You are a good boy, such a tender-hearted soul.
Everybody's good. Everybody's ready, right?
We are going.
Okay. Bear with me for a couple of seconds here. And let me push a couple more buttons.
Okay.
So Jordan, I should have you with me. I need a Jordan. Actually, I'm getting getting some help, but not yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live with Brain Food from the Heartland, the Louie B Free radio show. You've heard me talking about Lockdown Theater and these wonderful folks, and seeing them joined us over the last, and I'm just honored to have you all with me today. And Dr. Solheim, I'm going to start with you, my friend.
Well, thanks, Louie. We're happy to be here. We have some of the cast and crew here to talk to you. And Ollie's Bees is a stream play, like we've presented before, like Tough Trip Through Hell. So it's online, it's live with the remote actors in different places in the United States due to the lockdown, pandemic or whatever, and with 3D virtual sets that Jordan, our director and technical director and set designer, has put together for us. So the story is it can be for anybody, middle school and above, but I think really everybody, adults, enjoy it too. And it's a young boy who is an orphan, comes from Iraq, comes to live with his grandfather in East Los Angeles, and has to face a lot of trials and tribulations trying to adapt to life in America. And he makes some good friends, and I don't want to give away the story, but anyway, so there's a lot of very poignant moments, there's funny moments, and I think it's a very uplifting piece, although it has its sad moments here and there. And we got also with us today, we have Roland Bashura, who's our musical director, and he did that music you heard in that trailer. Yeah.
Beautiful. I want to start, if you don't mind, Dr. Solheim, let's a little bit more about you and your background and how you got to where you're at today doing the work that you do.
Okay, as you can see, I'm a very serious artist, very
people
serious.
Listener, you're gonna have to describe the look for listeners, for people that are listening, just the audience.
Well, my nickname, and you can check in with Roland, who's known me a very long time, is Dr. B. So I am Dr. B with 2 E's today instead of just Dr. B with just the B. And to celebrate the story, I'm a professor of history at Citrus College, been working there since 1998. And I've written 10 plays and 10 books, I think, and comic books and just a little bit of everything. I'm an Army veteran, and I love theater, as you do, Louie. And we had to keep it going during the pandemic. So this is our, what is it, Jordan, 4th production?
Yes. Oh, yeah. 4th title.
Yeah, 4th title that we've done. And this time we're focusing, Ollie's Bees focuses on, well, the whole idea, and I hope your listeners will pass it on. We want to offer this live to any school in the United States. We can do it live for them, whether they're locked down or not. Even if they're back in school, you don't want strangers or a theater troupe coming to your school to perform live. So we can do it live, but online safely for any school anywhere in the United States. I've even reached out to my relatives in Norway, and there's some interest there too. So although that time difference will be a little rough, but anyway, that's what we're doing. That's who I am. And Louie, you're a good guy, and I know you're a big fan of the arts, especially theater. And also, I was thinking, I haven't talked to Jordan, but libraries might be interested in this too if they have like a. There you go.
Well, you had the glasses on. I've got a new pair of rabbit
I
glasses.
can barely see with these dark glasses. These are like steampunk glasses, I think.
I'm going to ask Jordan. I'm going to ask you, can I knock myself off my view?
Yeah.
That won't mess you up.
If you knock yourself off of your view, I don't think it will change. If you hit stop video, though, you will stop video for us.
No.
So is that what?
I just hit the hide.
Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens, and I'll tell you. We might have to go back.
It's gone on my end.
Oh,
so that's great.
Still see.
I don't want to see me. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
No, we like to see you, Louie. We like to see you.
You guys see.
So that's why we're here, and we have with us today. We have Sasha Kerbal, who plays she plays the mother, Ali's mother, the young orphan boy. We have Yusuf Shihade, I hope I said that right. He plays the grandfather, one of the key roles. Roland, I already mentioned, Roland Bashir is our musical director, beautiful score. Isaac Snyder plays the little bully, Jenks, although he's a sweet guy and in real life. And Jamie Pilato plays Lupe, who's a very strong female character young female character in this streamplay. So that's who we have. And then of course, Jordan Martin, our director, technical director, and set designer, and behind the scenes wizard.
A wizard, truly a wizard, Jordan.
A wizard,
truly,
yes.
Yeah. So the things that you've done are just, I'm absolutely in awe of. If you don't mind, are you cool? I'd just like to go around and everybody tell us a little bit about themselves. Are we okay with that? Sasha, do you want to start and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sasha, you're on mute.
Yeah, good morning. You know why I'm on mute? Because my alarm clock will go off every 5 minutes from now because of my son's school. But I didn't want to turn it off because then I will forget to turn it back on, and then on Monday we won't wake up for school. Anyway, so I'm Sasha Kerbal. I am an actress. I live in LA, but I came here from Moscow, Russia, where I was born and raised, and there I was a theater and film and TV actress. And before that, I was a DJ, a radio and TV host. But now I ended up here in Los Angeles, and I'm very happy. When the lockdown started, me and my colleagues and friends started immediately thinking, okay, how can we create in this new reality? And then when I saw one of the performances of the lockdown theater, which was The Bridge, I was so impressed with what you can do with Zoom and how you can connect Zoom and theater that I was like, I immediately wanted on board, and I got lucky to be here. And with Ali's Bees is absolutely a new level. So, and with that said, I will pass the microphone to.
I want to say again what you've done with lockdown theater and being at the forefront of doing these things, Professor, and everyone, and Jordan. It just blows me away. I remember when we first started talking about this, when you did The Bridge and things, just incredible.
And I wanted to add something, when we were talking during the rehearsals, and Jordan was like, oh, so I added this. And Jordan talks like in this calm voice. He's like, okay, I added this. And he starts explaining. And I'm like, what language are you speaking right now? I can't even understand. And then when we see the result, it's like, wow.
I know Jordan's Jordan's very laid back with all the amazing things that he does. And I know, Sasha, I'm the same. I'm just like in awe. It's like, how? And then when watching the production, he's like, yeah. He's kind of very casual about it. Jordan, we're high praise to you, young man. High praise to you.
Yeah.
So, and thank you for that. So Jamie, tell us, I'm an old guy, so I've got to go ladies first. So
love it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Let's see. The cat. So we'll start with that. But I was able to be a part of a couple of things with Bruce when we were not in lockdown, obviously back at Citrus. And then I was able to also be a part of Ali's Bees when we took it to a couple of the schools. So then he reached out and he was like, hey, do you want to be a part of it? And I was like, sure. And like, honestly, I had no idea what to expect because I had seen a couple of like your guys' productions and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like what we can do with everybody being a part, like just because of technology. I don't know. Again, we're bringing this back to Jordan because
back to you,
my brain, I don't even know how to exit Zoom sometimes. So Jordan, you're awesome. But it was it still kind of blows me away how much it brings us all together doing something that everyone loves. Like I enjoy acting, I enjoy dancing, whatever, but being back in this in the middle of a pandemic has been so cool. I know, at least for me, every time we would have a rehearsal, I would look forward to it because I get to see all of you guys. And it's neat. It's cool to be able to be a part of something that I thought was going to die out. And I know that sounds like really like bummer. Oh no, but
well, it's cool. We didn't know. I mean, we didn't know. And it's creative people like you all that are doing it, that are making it happen, which I just think is incredible. You know, and I get the idea of live theater and the importance. I don't want to compare and contrast other than the fact that I can be, you know, when people say, what are you going to do this weekend? I say, well, a good weekend for me is if I don't have to put my shoes on. So, you know, I can be barefoot and running around my SpongeBob jammy bottoms and, you know, and I can enjoy theater. Very powerful when we watch the bridge, but I can, you know, again, it's great to be out with a group of people. Mm-hmm. I think there's something also great about being able to be kicked back at home and you know, again, I have to wear shoes if I go to the theater. I can't wear I guess I could wear my SpongeBob jammies. You and me, Bruce, Doc, you know, you with the hat, I'll put my rabbit glasses on and my rabbit ears and we'll go. Thank you, JB. Thank you. So, do you play guitar?
Yeah, I play a lot, but
I see them on the wall. For listeners, I see them on the wall. That's
I got that one and another one in a case because it's cracking. It's fun.
You get a lot of practice time these days, though, right?
Oh yeah. See, that is one thing that I'm super thankful for. At first, like I said, you get taken out of these live gigs, you get taken out of live theater, and you're kind of like, wait, well, now what? But we get to practice a lot more. You get to redo some of the takes unless you are live on something. So that's been cool. You really get to hone in on whatever it is that you're working on because you're home. You can't do anything.
Thank you so much for that. Yusuf, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, my name is Yusuf Shahadi, and my background was in theater. Back home, I used to play on stage for the high schoolers and for the kids. And we used to do that every day. We traveled all over Israel for all the schools and performed every day 2 plays. And so I came to the United States hoping to get more into acting. I wasn't that lucky. And then out of nowhere, Mr. Bruce calls me, texts me. And I was like, oh, that must be fraud or something. So I didn't give much attention, but then he emailed me or called me, left a message, said, well, let me call. So I called him and the rest is history. So I'm on it, I auditioned, he liked me, and here I am doing it again.
That's wonderful.
I'm very happy, very, very satisfied.
That's wonderful.
I was impressed with the background work, the way they did, bringing things together. First, I thought they were fantasizing. I was like, there's no way you can do it. But then when I saw it, I was like, wow, I'm glad I didn't say anything.
It all came.
Look good.
All came together. Did you expect that kind of response, Bruce, when you reached out, and how did you connect with Yusuf?
It was through, I think it was through an acting website, because it is not easy to find an actor who can play an authentic Iraqi grandfather. So now, even though Yusuf is not Iraqi, I hope that doesn't blow the audience away. They don't think, because Actually, I had a funny story. One of the kids, I don't know if I told you, Yusuf, one of the kids who was writing a review, because we did a live performance for Edgewood Academy in La Puente, California. One of the kids said, can they tone down the accents a little bit? And they were talking, and I thought, no, that's Yusuf's accent. He's not faking.
Tone down the accent.
They were talking about Yusuf. They thought he was putting it on, but that's his real accent. Anyway, I thought you'd think that was funny, Yusuf.
I think that's hilarious. Can you tone down?
I'll try to hide it next time.
No, it's perfect. That's why, that's one of the, plus you're such a wonderful person. The grandfather figure is key to this whole story. I know it's called Allie's Bees, but unless you have a tremendous actor as a grandfather, that ties everything together, because he's the grandfather that everybody wants. If you don't have one, I don't have a grandfather. Both my grandfathers are gone long ago. So, not that he's, so much older than me or anything. He might even be younger.
I'm older than you.
but he, he just has that wonderful warmth, and so he captures that. And so I went through an acting website, and like you said, I think he was a little hesitant at first, and then, I mean, you got to trust this guy, right?
You got to trust
Dr. B. You got to trust Dr. B.
Dr. B. You got to.
No, we hit it off, and everybody hit it. It's just great, and he's had some great. We have a couple of an Arab line in there, and some things, and he helped. Stagger Lee, who's not here today, with his accent a little bit, helped him with that. So as has Roland as well. So anyway, that's how we met, and we never met in person. In fact, who have I met in person here? Just Roland and Jamie, Jordan. And that's it, right?
No, Jordan, you're somewhere.
We've spoken every single day for almost a year, but me and Bruce have never met in person.
In fact, yeah. So Jordan's up in Tacoma, Washington. A lot of us are in LA area, except for Isaac, who's in Chicago, the Windy City.
So Isaac, tell us about yourself.
Hey, Louie. Thank you so much for having me on the show today. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you.
I am from Chicago. I am a theater maker, actor, podcaster, playwright. Wow. The whole 9 yards, the millennials that are just trying to do everything but can't really focus on just one thing.
But you get it all wait a minute, but you get it all done. That's the thing with,
Exactly. I mean, I can definitely say thank you to my generation for that, because we like to really get it done. But I'm so excited to be here with this cast. It was so great to get the message from Bruce to come and be a part of the show. He originally was just like, do you want to come and like do a reading, maybe an audition? And I was like, yeah, sure. And we had the first reading and the thing, and then we had another reading, and then another reading, and then another reading. And I was like, I think I'm in it now. Like, I think this is it. Like, I think after the fourth reading, I'm here. I'm with these guys. But something that drew me so close to theater lockdown was perseverance, and persevering through these tough times. Theater makers, we are pretty adaptable, and we're able to work as hard as we can to make sure that we can get the best product out there. And I think that in this pandemic, we really stepped up, and we looked at the problems that we had in the face, and we said, nope, we're gonna continue doing what we know best. And so I think that that's something that's really special about lockdown theater.
That's very cool. Thank you for that. And you millennials, you all do get it done. And again, I'm honored to have all of you. Roland, a little bit about you.
Sure. My name is Roland Bashura. I'm from Glendora, California, which is same city as Dr. B. I went to many of his classes. I was a student of his almost 15, maybe do I dare say 20 years ago? 15 years ago. Yeah, when he gave his first World War II history class, and I began to build a friendship and a bond with Dr. B. It's kind of funny. I always kind of had a feeling that he was the curator of creative creation, no matter what it was. And it was just, I was one of those students who was sitting in class in the front row seat, just, kind of like just looking at him and always listening to his every word and, raising my hand at every moment. So I took all of his classes, and I really enjoyed getting to know him and everything. And I was actually originally going to Citrus College for becoming a professional musician, doing their music program over there. I became a teacher, so I'm just teaching part-time right now.
What do you play?
I got my private piano. Piano. Yeah. And so, during this whole pandemic, first of all, I got to praise, of course, Dr. B for, even having this idea, from books, from rags to riches, right? From a book to a play. It's just incredible. I never even thought he was writing a book, because he was, into comics lately. And so I got to praise Jordan as well. He's incredible. He's been very patient. Also, the actors and actresses, they've been extremely patient with me and my irrelevant questions and everything. So it's extremely difficult when you're not in the studio to compose or to have any type of footage to compose music to. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, and I guess there's I don't really necessarily believe in coincidences. I think there's a reason for everything. And when this pandemic has took a toll on my teaching business, on my students, I lost more than half my students last year. Dr. B, just out of the blue, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, we're doing this play together, and I trust your music. I like your style. I like your taste. Would you mind doing this?" He's like, "I'm not sure about how far we're gonna go, but I need you in my troupe. I need you on my team." And even though I've never been in the Army, Dr. B always treated me like I was a part of his troupe. So I said yes. I absolutely 100%. Whether we win or fail, I'll be there with you. So I've had enough time to compose music and bother Jordan a little bit during midnight hours.
Jordan manages it. Jordan has that cool. He's got that cool. I mean, and I panic. And I'm like, I don't know, am I doing, and I'm always, I'm this. I don't know. No excuses for this anymore. But Jordan's very cool with it. And he's very, and I love that. Great skills.
Yeah.
All of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jordan keeps that. So, Doc, give us a little bit about the background of the story.
The background of the story. Okay. Allie's Bees, actually, this is kind of weird, but it was originally a draft play because I was taking a playwriting class from Jose Cruz Gonzalez, who is now retired, but he was a wonderful children's theater playwright at Cal State LA. And I ghosted his class, or whatever you call it when you're not for credits. What do you call that? Auditing. I audited his class, and I picked his brain for a whole semester, and just a wonderful man. I'm still in touch with him. So he told us that ideas are like butterflies, and you need to capture those butterflies and put them in a safe place. And he said, whatever comes to your mind, just write it down. He would actually take like little pieces of paper, put them in a box, and then later you can develop it. And he said, never let those butterflies, capture them and put them in a box. And so one of the butterflies that fluttered above my head during that class was an idea of a young orphan boy. And the idea started with a actual real life thing. I was at my son's baseball game watching, and I saw this bee on the ground, and it was struggling, it was dying. And then I thought, wow, I've seen a lot of bees dying. I mean, everywhere where I walked, I always saw these bees that were dying. And I started looking into what's going on, and we are in a crisis with bees and the colony collapse disorder. And I found out that bees are responsible for 1/3 of our food. And so I got really active about wanting to help the bees. So that was one motivation. Another motivation was actually a young boy that was on a team that I was coaching on my son's team. And he was from the Middle East, and I can't remember exactly where he was from, but he was just, his parents wanted him, just like Ali in the story, wanted him to adapt to American culture. So they said, baseball is a good way to learn American culture. And so he was on my team. Well, he got teased by some of the other players, which I nipped in the bud right away. I just said, hey, he's from another country. My parents were from another country. So what? He has an accent. He doesn't understand baseball. Let's teach him. And so then all the boys got together and we all helped him. Some of the parents were harder. You know, that's the hard part of coaching Little League is the parents, not the kids. The kids are great. The parents are the challenge. So anyway, so that's kind of the ingredients that came together. And I think I wanted to create this kindly grandfather that I never had. And then that's Yusuf. He just captures it like he was, you know, like I ordered him to, you know, like I, you know, and he was custom designed for this role. He's just perfect for this role. It's just so serendipitous. But anyway, that's kind of the background of the story. But the story has a lot of nuances to it. It has a veteran, Rick Walters plays the veteran, and you know Rick. Wonderful. He's a great actor, and he plays a tortured, veteran in a wheelchair who was wounded in Iraq, and he has a lot of anti-Muslim feelings, a lot of he's just very filled with anger. And Isaac plays his son, and they have a very difficult relationship that I've seen Isaac and Rick connect, and I can see them channeling stuff that as actors, I'm always amazed by that. I can't do that. I can write stuff, but I can't feel it the way they feel it. And it's amazing to me how they have this tension, and then without giving away too much, they are able to break through that in a very wonderful way. So it's about PTSD. It's about cooperation. It's about bullying. It's about science. So that's why the preserving the bees and why that's so important. And you have Jamie playing a character, a young girl from East LA who's got a very difficult situation at home, and she is the queen bee. So there's all the bees come in and just about everything. The grandfather uses the bees to teach young Ali about life. So that's why I think it's a great story for not just for kids, but for adults too, to remind them what's really important in life. Yeah. And that's that we need to work together. And that's how Ali ends the play with the, bringing that point home. And I don't want to give too much away about the story, but so it started off as a play. Then I wrote the book as a novel for young readers. And anyway, so that's how we got here. And there it is right there. Jordan's holding it up. And it won an award. And like I always say, it's not really my story. It's the story that has been given to me, kind of like a sacred trust from whatever sources, and I'm supposed to bring the story to the world. And I'm just presenting it. And that's what these actors are doing. They're presenting the story live and dramatizing it and making it even more exciting for the audience.
And you're all integral parts of it. Like you say, you feel it came through you. And then when you talk about some of the connections, which I think is absolutely beautiful, I do want to make sure we mention when it's going to premiere. I don't know who wants to.
I can handle that. The show is premiering in a new sort of way. We're actually premiering the show as a file to watch on YouTube, like a normal YouTube video at 5 p.m. Then we're watching it together at 7 p.m. with commentary from everyone. And Louie, you're invited too. If you'd like to do commentary, watch with us if you have time. That's at 7 p.m. on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, I would be.
And that's Pacific time. So for Louie, that's late.
No, it's Louie doesn't look at me. Does it look like I sleep? I mean, I just my neighbors had to. They didn't have to acclimate. To me, depending on the weather, my late night barefoot walks in the neighborhood, you get something like this walking down the street at 4 o'clock in the morning with no shoes on. And the police were great, by the way. I just wanted to, I mean it. They understood, and I was a neighbor, and I forgive me for going off on this, but my wife the other day, it was snowing. I needed to run outside. I had these, I don't know, like tie-dye jammy bottoms on, no shirt. I said, just gonna run, I've got to run, no shoes, of course, run out for a second. And she said, please don't go out without a shirt on. I said, oh my God, if I'm not able to go to the gym, if I deteriorated that, do I look that bad? She said, no. She said, I don't want the neighbors to think you're crazy. I said, At now, all these years later, you don't want the neighbors. They already know. She said, we've got new neighbors. So I'm sorry, I'm going on about that. It's like now she doesn't want the neighbors to know. But I want to talk a little bit about, yeah, happy to do commentary. I don't have to have a camera on me, do I? I do, don't I?
You can, well, it'd be good if you did. I would like it if you did.
Okay, I'll dress up.
Okay.
I'll get a hat and glasses like Dr. B. Yeah, I'd be honored too. But again, people can watch it. So there's going to be a direct the YouTube link that you sent, and also doing it live. Explain that one more time, Jordan.
So the show, we want to perform the show live again for schools. And what we're hoping to do, what would be the best, most grand way to do it would be all the schools watch at the same time, and so does all the channels in all the world. And right now what we have is an edited version of what we've already performed, just so that we can go ahead and share it with the world. But it's an on-demand video. So it will be on YouTube, not YouTube Live at 5 p.m. But then at 7 p.m.,
I got it.
We're going to review it all together, and that will be a live event with interaction. The audience can ask us any question the whole time, and we will talk directly to the audience this time.
Well, that's incredible. I mean, that sounds absolutely fantastic, and we've got that linked up also. But again, they go to Lockdown Theater to any of the.
Lockdown Theater on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. On Twitch, you can get notifications when we're coming on. We're moving more over to Twitch with everything that we do. And you should, if you want to see us on Facebook, join the event. If you want to see us on YouTube, the best way to do that is to subscribe.
At Lockdown Theater. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. That even I can figure out how to do that. So that makes it great. I want to talk. How are we time wise? Do we have
I'm fine.
Everybody.
I'm due back at the Hive in about an hour.
Okay. I mean, if we go to the top of the hour or a few minutes after, I shouldn't be asking on air. We call Jordan. You're running it. So
it's okay.
Cool?
Oh yeah.
I just want to make sure I can pace myself. I'd like to talk with someone. Jamie, a little bit more about your character and how it fits in and how that works for you. Do you mind?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, I don't mind. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, now I sound rude. So when we first did the live play at the school, we had like a couple discussions back and forth about who Louie is and where she comes from and just the things that make her her. Then fast forward to now, Jordan sent me some really awesome notes, and she's, without giving like too much away or it being like, oh, well, she's this, and this, because it's ultimately up to the audience to take what they can from a character. But she's very strong. And I know a lot of girls her age, even growing up personally, just certain instances where, yes, this is a story that's been written, but it's going to resonate with certain people and certain backgrounds that you come from, because it's by no means like just this glamorized, like, I mean, I don't want to like give away key things. Yeah. She's very strong. She is very strong, but her family, her upbringing, like this is stuff that's very relevant right now. This is stuff that I've seen personally, been affected by. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, so to speak, but it's really neat seeing the way that Bruce gave her more than just her like difficulties. Does that make sense? So she's not sitting there feeling sorry for herself, like, oh, my life. She's just going. She's just doing, kind of like the way we all are right now. We're just going. Life keeps throwing stuff at you, but you just keep going, right? So this little character, like, she's done a lot for me personally, just like rereading some stuff, some of the notes Jordan gave me.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
When you say that, because again, you all have the talents and the skills, and I don't. When you say that she's done a lot for you, this character, can you?
Okay. Yeah. So whenever I had the opportunity to work with Bruce, there's never been a shortage of backstory for his characters. So specifically with this one, the way, like when we started our rehearsals back in December, there was so much going on in my life personally. Just like everyone else, we had a lot going on, but I don't even think my cast and crew realized how much this helped me being a part of something. So without getting all emotional and stuff, this character and her perseverance, the way, just looking at something on paper that it's like you see this beginning, this middle, this end for this character, and she was fine. And she's a kid, like she's a kid, you know. I'm not Lupe's age, but it inspired me because I was like, it took me out of my own situations for that moment to see that there's so much going on, that there's huge things, and that there are kids put in situations right now that they're not good, you know? Yeah. So being able to kind of remove myself and just see this character and her heart and just see her strength and her endurance, her perseverance for everything that she was going through. And I know it's crazy. It sounds so dramatic because it's like, oh yeah, this character helped me, but she did, because
it's wonderful. It's to me, I mean, I have to tell you, and I appreciate you being so open about that. I think that's wonderful. It sounds wonderful.
I should, can I interject, Louie and Jamie?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Jamie, tell the story of what happened. That I can't remember which school it was when we did a live version a couple of years ago. And it was only part of the play. It wasn't even the whole play. It was just like a showcase thing. And tell them what happened at the end of the play.
One of the very cool things, again, like I've grown up teaching dance to my peers. Like I've grown up teaching a lot, and I have little sisters. So, you know, we finished this play, and as soon as they started opening up for questions, this group of little girls just like ran to me, and they wanted me to sign their arm and stuff. And I thought it was so funny because I was like,
She was mobbed.
We had to wait. I was there talking to them for like an hour. And it was funny because after that, they all added me on like Snapchat, on Instagram.
Oh, you kids.
Or so after, even now, some of the girls, I sent them and let them know what we were doing. They're growing up. They're in high school now. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah. But they were so happy to see, like, because she's fiery. She's got like an attitude, you know, and she wasn't getting reprimanded for her attitude at all. You know, she was holding her own with the boys. So it was really cool. But yeah.
She's a strong female character, and girls need that, young girls especially.
Yeah, I wanted to say that Lupe, she's like a role model, a very good role model for middle school aged girls, and that's the beauty of it.
If you, Sasha, how about a little about your character and about what it's like for you?
Yeah, thank you. So originally in the book, there is basically like a photo, right, of my character. So Bruce added some scenes, and those are, I don't know, should I say it, or is it a spoiler alert? But I don't think it's a spoiler alert. Those are flashbacks. And to me, you know, I'm a mother, so it affected me right away, the whole story, and what's happening with Ali in the United States and how he tries to build his life there and be kind of accepted and find his place. But yeah, this is Jordan is showing the picture from the book. That was the part. But
and for
Bruce
listeners,
added to that.
And that was Jordan. Yeah, that was Jordan's idea, really, to bring to life on the screen or on the stage or virtual stage, the mother and father. You know, because it's not really a spoiler because I already said that Ali's an orphan, so we know what happens to his parents, and it's tragic. And now Jordan suggested, well, we could do, you know, we should put because we wanted Sasha and another actor who you've met, Tommy. Great, another great actor.
Oh, Tom, yeah.
We wanted them to be in the production. And so Sasha was just such a natural because she is a mom also, and she's a great actress. And to put her in that role, and Tommy does a great job as Ali's father in these flashbacks. that are brilliantly framed by Roland's incredibly beautiful music, as you saw in the I think in the trailer there.
Yeah, and Roland helped me with tweaking my Russian accent into some sort of Iraqi accent, at least that I hope. And and it's interesting because Tommy and we created this. Our characters, they are different. Ali's parents, it's a very loving family, and we care deeply, of course, about our boy and about his future in post-war Iraq. And what we did with Tommy is like, he's a fighter who wants to stay and defend his home till the end. And I want peace. I want to find my place on earth. And I wasn't able to do that. I wanted to do that. I encouraged my family to do that, to search for it, to search for peace. And then we didn't make it. So now looking at Ali and at him being in America, even through his flashbacks, I am trying to help him and to find my own place through him in this new reality, and to find this peace. And of course, Ali has an endless support of his family, of his parents, even though they're not with him anymore. And it's a very powerful line there in this play.
Yeah, I want to bring up, Louie, because a lot of people, I think to the detriment of our children, they try to, make things, try to not deal with very difficult issues with children. And I like to challenge young people. I think this is a difficult world we live in, and if you challenge them in a constructive way. So this is a tough story for a middle school person, and, dealing with death, dealing with war, dealing with, this hatred and, ethnocentrism and all that. And, but the kids in the story, portrayed beautifully by these actors, bring out the humanity and how if people can just get to know each other, that's the key. Yeah. And yeah, Sasha and Tommy do such a great job I'm so glad that Jordan suggested we build up their characters from just the photograph that Ali carries in his pocket, this kind of dog-eared photograph of his parents. We made them come to life. And I thank Jordan for that. And I thank Sasha and Tommy for, even though they don't have a lot of screen time or whatever, it's very, very powerful what they do, in the piece.
And again, it premieres, Jordan, tell us again.
St. Patrick's Day. It's going to premiere at 5 on demand. And then 7 p.m. Pacific, you can watch it with us.
And St. Patrick's Day is March 17th, for those who don't know. And it's usually, I call it my hangover day because it's the one day after my birthday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's very relevant, St. Patrick's Day, to that celebration.
Hangover day. I love that. Yusuf, can you talk a little bit more about your character? And
I like doing grandfather as I'm preparing also for my son to have kids very soon. But really, my son helped me with the grandfather, because when I was rehearsing with him, it comes out like from the movie Aladdin, Disney movie, the way I'm acting and the way I'm talking, and he's like, whoa, calm down, you're not a Disney show. You don't have to do that, just be yourself. So he helped me a lot establish the character without overdoing it or sound fake. And with Jordan and Bruce's inputs also, that it helped me a lot to calm down and just be a grandfather. And I hope I did deliver the grandfather that everybody loves when I listen to him.
Everybody loves the grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody agrees with that, right? Everybody agrees with it. Isaac, a little bit about your role. Your role is quite different in the sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I played Jenks, And I am like a lot of kids that, us adults, we don't really think about necessarily. A lot of kids are angry out there. And they have a lot of things that they feel like they can't talk about because their two most stable relationships are their parents. However, if your parent is someone who's going through something that can be damaging, as well as maybe another parent who's absent, it's hard. And to manifest that anger was really tough for me because I mean, I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. I love everybody. Like I try to just find the joy in anything.
You seem very upbeat and very warm. All of you seem very warm.
Why, thank you, Louie. I
playing
appreciate
that roles had to be challenging then, right?
It was challenging. It was challenging it was challenging for me as the actor to understand the anger where it was coming from. But once I did understand it, and once I put myself into his shoes a little bit more, I very much so fell in love with this character and the misunderstandings of this character, the character who he wants to do the right thing, but his anger is what drives him. And, anger can lead you to the wrong decision at the wrong time. It can lead you to a life of uncertainty. But thankfully, without any spoilers, this character really has a nice redemption arc.
When you're writing, Bruce, that, how do you draw on that? Because I'm finding it, you're writing for different people. I'm just blown away by that. Well, it's one thing to write about yourself or something, but
everything is drawn from life for me. Sometimes there's a little bit of me and probably all of these characters, probably the worst parts of all the characters. But I draw from real life and people that I've known and their composites. And but once you've kind of established this is going to be a character, what's interesting when you're writing the dialogue is that the character takes over. And I'm not exactly sure how to explain that in a non-paranormal way. But since I like the paranormal and written about it, I'm going to go with that line of thought and reasoning. That character then starts to speak to me. And I'll be writing something down. Oh, well, Jenks is going to say this. And then Jenks in my head will say, I wouldn't say that. This is what I'm going to say. Don't you know me? You should know me. You created my character. You should know what I should say. So I'm having this dialogue, and I know it sounds schizophrenic, but anyway, so then I go, oh, you're right. And I'll cross that out. And I'll, okay, no, Jenks would do this. And so then I make it as good as I can. And then the actors get a hold of it. And then they go, oh, I didn't see that insight. So then I, make changes then accordingly. And so you have to do that for each character. So each character is unique, just like all of us are unique. And to the writer, if you listen, you'll hear the character, and the character will carry and drive the story.
See, that
and that's why I always say it's not my story. It belongs to everybody here and those that aren't here, and to the sources, the bees, to the little kid that I coached. It belongs to everybody. And that's really the nature of theater, is that it's very communal, and one person can't take credit for everything. It just all has come together. And when these actors are talking about their characters, and I didn't want to reveal it because I'm supposed to be a tough Dr. B, right? But I have little tears coming down my eyes, from because I connect with their connection, if that makes sense, to these characters.
And that's beautiful. And I love that about you. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is? Oh, I thought I heard.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
No, go, Jordan. What?
I agree with Bruce. Actually, whenever I was analyzing the characters and thinking about everything in the very beginning, I don't feel that same thing that Bruce does, where I feel that the character talks to me. I actually feel that I have to change myself to the character to understand the character. And I have a friend, this is the first directing I've ever done. So the first thing I did was go to somebody who knows how to direct and ask him, what do I do? And he gave me some really great and really eccentric advice. He said, and this is very strange, he said to cuss out the character when you're alone in your room, to yell, cuss at him and say things that are wrong with them, things that are not there. And it's very strange thing to do, to immerse yourself. and that feeling like that. And then you start to see flaws, not necessarily flaws in the character, but flaws in how you understand the character. And then you want to write more story about the character of your own. And that's when you're directing. It's not so much when you say, oh, this is wrong, but when you say, oh, I'm going to write a little bit more on there. And he told me that it doesn't matter if you say it to the audience. As long as you say it to a good actor, the audience will know. And I thought that was amazing. And I can't believe what I've learned, honestly, from being a director, that there are times where I felt that paranormal feeling that Bruce is talking about, that what I'm doing is pleasing everything, pleasing a harmonious nature when I do it right. And I felt amazing about that. And I spent just, it's weird too. I can only talk to, my friend, it's Cedric. You met Cedric. I just realized he was the director of our first two productions. He taught me that I can sort of keep it to myself. And the more that I keep to myself, the more that comes out, which is a really amazing thought. The less that you prune away. And also, I can't believe how the actors would come back. And I was thinking, well, what do you say when this is the motive? But when they came back, it was done. The work was done. And it was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. And I also can't believe the way some of the actors made their character for me. And we didn't get to do a ton of auditions, because I swear, as soon as we did our first audition, I was like, well, we have our cast. That takes care of it. So, and then Yusuf came along. Yusuf was the only person I think that wasn't there that's here today. And I know, Isaac, you said you got to like your fourth one. You said, I guess I'm in this. You were in it the very first one. Because
I just didn't let you know, Isaac.
At the end of that one, I said to my wife, I cannot believe how everybody just put that together to where it's already elevated above because what I was really supposed to be doing was listening to all the different people's versions and making them trade roles, and then taking little bits of how they all think about it and put it together to create nuance, because we're all just one perspective, and that's really kind of wrong. Unless you're one character. If you're one character, you're one perspective. But as soon as you're everybody, all you can do is listen. And I don't think I gave any directions as we got towards the end, because all I kept thinking to myself is, it's not fair that I get to take credit for what they've all done.
That's the way I feel too, Jordan. I feel exactly. It's like writing. Playwriting is like giving birth. Once you care for it, but then the child goes out into the world and you lose control, and that's okay. It's okay, because you want it to be something organic for the actor. And what I was thinking when Jordan was, I'm sorry, Jordan, did I cut you off?
No, I'm done.
Yeah. So I was thinking of the iconic characters that actors play, like Leonard Nimoy played Spock. He was always Spock, no matter what. He wrote a book called I Am Not Spock, because he was angry a little bit being typecast. And then later in his life, he wrote a book, I Am Spock. And he took ownership of it. And that's what actors do. I think they might resist at first, and then as it becomes an iconic character, they say, no, I am that character. There's a part of you that is that character. And I think that's kind of cool. And I can't do it. That's why I appreciate actors so much. It's really hard to do that, and then they can do it, and it's amazing.
Sasha brought so many props for her character. She basically changed the set for her character, and that was something I hadn't mentioned. That was amazing. Yeah. And Jamie also had already been her character, and I remember thinking like, wow, I can't touch that too much or I'll ruin it, because it's already so good. It's already come so far. I can't believe the way that the music came together from Roland. That was amazing. And I think, Roland, you really undersold yourself when you spoke earlier. I really think so.
Talk about that process, Roland, if you would. Let me ID real quick. We're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Louie B Free Radio Show, Brain Food from the Heartland. We're going a little bit long today. We're Copyright Be Free Radio Limited 2021, produced by lovely Ms. Moneyface in cooperation with White Rabbit Productions. Louie B Free Radio Show, Brain Food from the Heartland's an adult-oriented show intended for and only for a mature adult audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Roland, go ahead and tell us a little bit about that process for you.
Yeah, sure, of course. I mean, as a musician, I guess we're all cursed with imperfections, and I could speak for all musicians. Literally, we all think whatever we create or whatever we put out there is never perfect, right? So we never want to post or be scared of being judged by our critics or comments or what have you. And it is definitely a scary process, but I think Jordan and Dr. B really made everything, including the actors and actresses, like their feedback while we were working on the music and everything. They kind of they were being very real. They said, oh, this works, but this doesn't work, or, oh, I love it, or, oh, could you change, a few things. And I thought that was such a different process of doing something rather than to sit alone for a couple months and produce something and then finally put it out there and hope for the best, right? And be like, oh, I hope they love it. But this was kind of like an organic creation. So in the beginning of the interview, when I said that, Dr. B was the curator of the creative creations for all of us, it really was organic. I've never went through a process like this before. Wow. They were all very nice to me, and I was very fortunate that they would invite me on every listening, on every rehearsal, on every reading. I would try not to interrupt or intervene too much. I just want to get a feel for each actor and actress and kind of get their personality. And I know it sounds kind of funny because they're playing a completely different personality, a character, in the play, but it's kind of weird because I gotta know the actor before I even know their character. And I don't think the major music composers got a chance to do that previously, before Zoom or before lockdown theater, or this whole process. So it was very unique, very organic, extremely organic.
That's
So,
interesting how you all say that, and how this just comes together. Bruce, it's got to blow you away, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I never know what's gonna, I have an idea, a concept, and then it evolves, and then it comes out as something much more special and beautiful than I had even dreamt about or conceived of at the beginning. So, and I owe that all to the people that we collaborate with.
There's one more person. We're missing one person, and that's Gabby. You should mention Gabby, Bruce.
Gabby, yeah, Gabby did the illustrations for in the screenplay. You see her illustrations in between scenes and at the beginning and at the end. And she is a wonderful artist. She did the illustrations for the book, and she herself is an immigrant from Eastern Europe, a former student of mine, like Roland, I think about 20 years ago, her too. And a wonderful, she was a wonderful young lady, wonderful student. Later went on, she's married. She has at least one child that I know about. And yeah, she's just a great person, and very, very talented artist. And I knew she was an artist because she, on her final exam, she drew this wonderful illustration. I guess she had time. She did it early and then was able to draw this illustration of Jeanette Rankin, who was the first woman to serve in Congress. It really impressed me. I mean, she got an A anyway, even if she didn't.
Yeah,
draw
I was gonna.
anything.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So
grade the artwork separate from the exam.
But then she gave me her card, and I kept that card for 16 years until I called her and said, "Hey, I need an illustrator." Because Gary Dunn was doing other stuff, my other illustrator friend. So I had Gabby do it. But anyway, yeah, Gabby's a big part of this too. Her illustrations are very fit just perfectly and set off each scene perfectly.
When you were saying earlier about how it comes, and you guys were talking about how the characters, speak to you, and Bruce, when you were talking about writing it, it's interesting because I've heard that Gary Morgenstein from Brooklyn, who's an author and is playwright, he said it to me. I remember the first time he said, I was at a dinner. I said, "Where's it come from?" And he said, "The character started talking to me." And then sometimes when I write, I mean, I hear that. Mm-hmm. The characters actually tell you, "No, this is me, that's not me," or whatever. Mm-hmm. That just blows my mind.
Yeah. And Some people would call that madness, but I call it creativity.
Oh, I call it creative. I call it amazing. I call it amazing. Amazing. Roland, you were going to say something.
If you don't mind me intervening, I was creating, music and composing it in the beginning. And as soon as Jordan showed me a clip of, Sasha and Yusuf and a couple other actors and actresses, I completely, you could ask Jordan, I recycled the entire thing. I said, okay, there goes my last 4 months of, creation. I'm going to develop something else because, they really truly become the book. They become the story. They become the play. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Even the smallest character to the biggest character plays the hugest roles. You know what I mean? So everybody had a huge impact on my organic creation of the music. So hopefully I delivered that, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So
you did.
It's very exciting. Yusuf, you were saying something. Did I miss it?
Oh, I was apologizing for Roland for wasting his time.
It's all good. It's all good.
We're so lucky that we have in this play, in this production team, we have Roland, who speaks many different languages, including Arabic, and of course Yusuf that speaks many different languages in Arabic. So we have 2 Arabic speakers that are helping us with this production. Not only with the acting but with the music. So it gives it that background, that authenticity that I couldn't give it, based on my Norwegian Lutheran upbringing. It's very different than growing up in the Middle East. So. Although the Norwegians are great people and very active in the Middle East and stuff, but still, so that I couldn't have done that without them. It wouldn't have been, as authentic. And I do want to mention that of your listeners, if any of them are teachers, we want to bring this for free to a classroom. Now we have to do one live production, and then the schools can tie into it. So if anybody's a teacher and you want to see Ali's Bees, if you're, in a virtual classroom, even if you're at the school, you can watch it. And we want to perform it for as many schools as we can. So please get in touch with Louie or myself if Louie has the link. And we want to do that. And that goes for libraries too. If they want to be I know you do a lot of library stuff, Louie.
I love my library. One of my multitude of I love my library. This is the
We can do that for libraries too. I think that's something I hadn't talked to Jordan about before, but I think it's maybe another way. But we want to get the story out there to as many people as possible. So.
Even if the teachers can't show the story to their students live, we'd love for them to show the on-demand video to their students and send us all the students' responses. I had a really great time reading through 3 classes' responses, and they're so honest. And
kids are so honest. Yeah.
You could tell a lot of the girls really loved Lupe's character, and it was just a repeated theme that really struck a note with them. And also, I thought just from some of their comments, it was actually helpful to me because they sort of reset you on things like when you don't know what it's like to be the audience, a kid will let you know. They'll tell you exactly how they felt about it. And it's really galvanizing whenever they give you that.
As my mom always said, you'll always get the truth from old people and children.
Oh, that's so true. That's like we were taught when I was in college, and my acting teacher, she said, you're entering the world where everybody who surrounds you is a sensitive creative. So learn to compliment people when you don't like what they're doing. And that's what everybody does. But with the kids, they will never be polite out of politeness because they don't think about it. They will just tell you as it is. So.
Hey, Jordan, mention what that one kid said. There's some very funny comments. I like that one about their favorite parts. Remember? That one girl.
Which one is that? Because I remember there were a lot of them. The teacher actually asked them their favorite part. And the ones that I remember right away was a lot of people saying when Lupe did that. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but when Lupe stood up for herself, that was one that was
constant. No, you can give away this one because it's so funny.
Which one is it?
Where she liked the fact that Lupe put Jenks in the friend zone.
In the friend zone, yeah. That was it.
I didn't even know what the friend zone was, and then it was explained to me. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Explain it.
Some of their comments were kind of harsh, actually.
Somebody explain it to me. What the friend zone? I mean,
Oh, so when you get friend zoned, it means that there is no chance.
Yeah, worst feeling ever.
It is. It's like there's no chance for romance. It is you are just a friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Just friends.
Yeah.
Or you're like a brother to me.
And it's so funny because girls usually give it to a boy as a big honor, because instead of just saying, go your own way and never call me again, you're like, I'm honoring you with my friendship. And like, wow,
you're like, such a good friend.
I get it. Thank you for explaining it to an aged flower child. Friend zone. I get it now. I get it I get it.
Yeah, not exactly the honor we're looking for, but sure, that works.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for saying that.
Speaking from experience, I'll go ahead and say
it's an adult-oriented show, so we can go wherever with that. But I get it. I'm an old guy, but I love that. And it's also wonderful when you talk about kids, not getting, without the filter. Without the filter. I know my wife has always said about me, my greatest liability is also my greatest asset. No filter between my brain and my mouth. Okay, it depends on what, asset, yes, because you're going to get, liability, because sometimes I say things that I should have filtered out. But when you say that about kids, that's the beauty of the directness of it. And they tell you how you feel. And some old people, I think, maybe all old people, I don't know, but you get that honesty from them, that honesty. And I think that's great. Is there another comment you wanted to read, Jordan, from?
The next comment that popped in my head, I don't have them in front of me, but the one that I remember the most, it was said a couple of times. What was your favorite part of the play when it was over?
Well, that's kids, yeah. I asked my almost 13-year-old boy, I said, this is so exciting. We might be in your school. I said, are you excited? Would you watch it? He said, how long is that? I was like, an hour. He said, I'm not sure.
But that's great. Oh, that's priceless. You're saying
their favorite part, yeah.
I want to make sure if we can go like another five or so.
Yeah, it's fine with me. Does anybody need, Sasha, did you need to?
No, my kid already got up and went to his virtual school.
Oh, okay, all right.
I see. Okay. Oh, you get the notice that it's time for virtual school. See, I get it. Okay, classes in session. Okay,
yeah.
I get that. You're saying that you want to do this live for schools? Is that?
Yeah, we did it live for Edgewood Academy in La Puente, which is in East LA, eastern part of Los Angeles. So that's, or Los Angeles County. So it was a great school to have it at. That my sister-in-law teaches there, and the school is 96% Hispanic. And it was just, the students' comments were, like, as Jordan said, were priceless. And the teachers loved it too. And, they're in an online mode and have been for about a year. And so the teachers, for an hour and a half, or an hour and 20 minutes actually, got to, through their learning management system, they got to watch the live play with their students, so they could make sure their students were watching it. It wasn't like, okay, students, here, go to this link and I'll check you back in an hour and a half. She was watching, in this case, she was watching them, or the 6 teachers, I think it was, with their classes, each with about 25 students, watching at the same time. So, and what we can do is we'll set up a future date where we can do it live, and at a time that's convenient for everybody, even on the East Coast. I don't know how we do that, but Jordan will figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
And we can give kids live theater. We can give them live theater. Well, and if we can't do that, then we do have the pre-recorded version too. But what would be great is for the kids to see live theater, because they're, even after lockdown, they're not going to be able to see live theater in the school because they can't bring actors in. because of the
And
protocols.
we also, we're on Anywhere seat, so we're not, a lot of schools have an issue of not being able to play something from YouTube for their kids. We're offering it direct, secure line directly to you, and then you share it to the kids.
Right.
I
So
see.
there's no
That's
chance of
good.
anybody getting in there
Yeah,
and saying rude things or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's a good point. That's a
So,
really good point.
and the live aspect is extremely important because there's going to be little hiccups here and there. There's just every performance is different a little bit. Even though the actors are beautiful in their craft, there's always going to be something a little different, something that maybe technical thing goes wrong, but they just carry on. It's amazing how they can do that. And that's the beauty of live theater. And that's what we're doing. But it's not, it's also this, it's like a film too. So it combines different types of entertainment. And so anyway, we want to offer this live to as many schools as possible. So I know Cleveland, I don't know what the status is there in the Cleveland schools, if they're open or not open or whatever.
Well,
But
again, you know, I don't want to get into, I don't want to get terrible expression. I don't want to get Louie on you. The governor who knows what's happening here.
Okay.
Schools in Ohio. I mean, I don't, you know, that, yeah, who knows? I don't want to make
it's in flux.
The things are, they say things are improving. So things may or may not open up under the city schools.
Right.
Now they have the option of being in or being virtual. Right across the border in Pennsylvania. You know, it's different in different areas. But
yeah, every state is different.
I think they're all still using some form of computerized, I believe. I shouldn't say. I don't know. I'm only guessing now. But I think it's wonderful that you're able to do that. And Jordan, as you said, secure. And you're going to try to do it live when you can. And for libraries, because maybe the library can restream it. I should be asking you this, Jordan, if you want to catch up with me after the show or something, or Bruce, call me.
Well, Louie, actually, I was going to offer to help you out and do like a consultation with you on some of your stuff. And we can talk about all the ways that you could have, because right now we're streaming you into our Facebook and YouTube. I'd like to see you be able to do that with your Zoom. And would you like to do that?
What's he talking about, Bruce? No, I'm sorry.
Jordan's making you an offer you can't refuse.
No,
yeah, I want to help. Yeah, I've seen
of
your
course,
posts.
whatever, listen, I'm up for whatever. I mean, you
Yeah.
just know that. I and the new folks today, Bruce, you know, I love you, man. I love what you do. And I
love you, Louie.
I love having the opportunity to do this with you. So Jordan, I'm up for anything. You know, I think you know me well enough at this point. You just have to take it slow and school me in what.
Well,
like
the
I
thing
said,
that people don't realize, you can do a consultation as a small business now, and everybody thinks consultations are really a big business thing, but everybody needs marketing to succeed now. So, you know, people can pay a small fee. You know, they'll pay big money to a site, a couple $100, and get practically nothing. Whereas if you pay somebody who knows marketing, they could teach you to fish. You know, you'd be doing all of the tags and everything yourself after that. You wouldn't need to be taught, or you wouldn't need to be paying.
I know. I already, by the way, in tag, I think said Bruce, people can send me Instagram. I'm terrible with social media. I need to get better. So I need to get everybody's tag. Is that or Instagram?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. You're laughing at me, Jamie. Everybody's now. You're all laughing at me. I don't.
Yeah.
I can help you quite a bit. It won't take very long either. I think about maybe an hour.
Well, you know that Jordan is saying that from a position of love, Louie, because you're a wonderful person, and we would like to see you get out there even more. So Jordan can help with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's right. I thought you were talking about streaming the show, but I just want to ask about the library. We can talk about that, the other stuff. And I'm grateful. Please, I don't mean thank you. You guys touched me with that very much. Getting it, the libraries can also, correct? You're offering it for libraries to stream a lot, or do you want to?
Well, I kind of spoke out of turn. Okay. That's an idea that I haven't even talked to Jordan about, but I know Jordan's wheels are already turning on it.
It's the same as schools. If the libraries have, if they want to interact with us about what time, so that we all decide on a time together. Otherwise, the show will always be available on demand. And they could send us an email at lockdown.theater.group@gmail.com. And we'll talk to them about whatever they, however they want to use it.
And it's nice because it's also a book. So there's a companion piece to it with the library. There's the book and there's the live theater as well. So
And
you get
Bruce,
both.
if people want to get the book, how do they get the book?
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. Allie's Bee is on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's an ebook too. So they can, I think it's $1.99 for an ebook and $9.89 for the hard copy.
I think that's wonderful. It's got to feel really, really good for all of you as it gets closer. So that's going to be bear with me. I'm looking at my calendar. Not next Wednesday, but a week from. Correct?
Yeah, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
Hangover Day, right?
Hangover Day.
Hangover Day. It's going to be really exciting for that to happen. And again, Bruce, I am blown away by you. You all are amazing. You're so genuine. And so, I love all the personality of everybody, Bruce, that you brought my way.
These are all good people. And I love all these people and the ones that aren't here too. And then the rest of our troupe that's been in other shows with you and other shows with us. And we all love you, Louie.
And I love you guys also. How did the heart come up? Where did the heart? Somebody.
On the bottom right, it says reactions, and then you click on it and you can choose the reaction.
Oh, I love that.
Look at that. Again, for listeners, I always feel bad. Because I don't want to ever seem neglectful of people who listen to the audio of the show.
Oh yeah, it's.
They get all of a sudden a heart popped. I'm seeing on the screen a heart pop up. See Jordan.
Yeah.
Let me so that you know the phone. I get worried on my cell phone that I'm not going to get the technology. I need a new phone. I'm still using a Galaxy S5, and that'll tell you how old. Now they're up to S21. I had a tech person on a tech show that said, Louie, if at some point it's just going to stop working. I said, I know, but until then, I'm really I know how to use it. So I'm loving it up. Bruce, I love you too. And you folks are all, a couple of final words from everybody, if you don't mind. Sasha, I'll go to you next.
Okay, so, first of all, I wanted to remind you, March 17, 5 and 7, and you better be there both times, because one time you will just watch the show without distractions, and the second time it will be like just chatting with everyone, and so there will be a lot of distractions. And I want to say that I'm very lucky to be here on your show, and thank you so much for having us. And of course, I'm very lucky to work with the Lockdown Theater friends, and I'm very excited for the things that we are about to create in the future.
It's very, very exciting. Jamie?
If my iPad dies as I'm talking, sorry.
Thank
you for having all of us. Thank every single one of you guys. Anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, I don't know. This has been awesome. Super excited to continue growing, hopefully with everybody, and we get to do more projects in the future, but definitely spread the word. I know this is going to be it's going to hit home for a lot of the kids. And I think it's something that needs to be shared. So thank you guys again.
And you'll grow from it. Yusuf?
Grow,
Same as Sasha and Jamie.
He said, no.
Brevity. That's great, Roland.
I'm a man of few words. Honestly, thank you so much, Mr. Louie B, for having us on your show, and for your listeners and your viewers and everybody. It's such a reality that I never thought was possible. Being home, quarantining for a year, right? It's just it's unbelievable what has happened, and I really, really can't wait to see how all this manifestation becomes into fruition, right? So I cannot wait to see us grow, all of us together. And Dr. B, thank you for everything, and I look forward to March 17th. Be there, please.
Yeah, please, Isaac.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate what everybody said: Sasha, Yusuf, Jamie, Roland. But also I just want to add, please come and see the show on the 17th. But also just a reminder to the listeners and a reminder to everyone here: be kind. It is 2021. Like let's
Yes.
be loved.
How do I
let's
make the
be
heart come up?
kind.
I don't know how to make the heart come up.
See, exactly. Like let's be loved. Let's be kind. We're in really weird territory right now, and this play is about being loved and being kind. So just want to throw that out there.
It's interesting you say that. Because when I sign off on Fridays, I do either the starfish story. It mattered to that one. I'm not going to get into but I generally end with, if we'd all just follow the golden rule, the only rule, be kinder to each other, treat our neighbor as ourselves. We could one relationship at a time build a world filled with peace, love, happiness, compassion, truly a heaven on earth. And that's just being kinder. I love that. I was thank you for that, Jordan.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for giving me an opportunity and for just being good people. Aside from doing really excellent work, I think everyone that I work with here are really great people. And thank you, Louie. And I'm glad that you're going to be with us on the 17th.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this. I love this. Dr. B, Bruce?
I would like to, agree with what everybody has said, and maybe just finish with this with us, that keeping the focus on our children, our future, and realizing that this has been very tough for them, and keep a little bit of extra love in your heart for those around you, and especially young people who listen to every word we say as adults, and they internalize that. And we have to be honest with them, but we also have to love them and guide them. And that's a big responsibility. And all of us take part, whether you have children or not. You have some, impact on a child's life.
You sure do. You sure do. I'm so glad, Bruce, that Dr. B, that you and I connected. And I am truly honored to have you all, and touched me very deeply. This is beautiful. Jordan, thanks for coordinating, because it wouldn't happen without that. And thank you all. I'm really, truly honored to have had you on today. Thank you so much. Oh, one more time, where and when? One more time, Jordan, one more time, where and when?
It's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and it is 5 p.m. on YouTube on demand, 7
Pacific
p.m.
time.
with all of us. Pacific, yes. 7 p.m. with all of us, including Louie, and we're going to be doing this again, pretty much. We're going to be chatting about how we did it, what we did, give you the behind the scenes and all of that. So that's the one to definitely not miss.
And I can be in my SpongeBob jammies and
yes,
have a
please
beer
do,
while
yes.
I'm doing that.
We insist.
Jordan, did you want to share how the audience, viewers and listeners can kind of share the hashtag on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, that kind of thing, just how they could do that?
Yeah, in the comments of anything that you're watching now, if you're watching on Lockdown Theater, I'm going to give you an entire list of links to do anything social as soon as this conversation ends. And then, Louie, for your listeners,
yeah,
I will. I think I may have already emailed that to you.
Okay.
And I will send it to you again as soon as we get off the call. But for your listeners, the best thing to do, go to our Facebook event. If you want to like us on Facebook, you'll see future events, and the event will take you directly to the stream. And then on YouTube, it's best to subscribe on YouTube. That's the only way you'll really get a notification on YouTube for even this show and future events.
Yeah, and I like that, because when I went there, and I do have that link, where it'll just say notify me or send me the notification or something like that. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. If I can do the technology, anybody can do it. Love you guys. Thank you so much. What a wonderful
Louie.
experience. Thank you.
Love you too,
Thank
Louie.
you. For listeners, listeners to the show, I've got some additional information for you. I love this crew. These people are just so, I get so touched and taken by the beauty in.
Okay, I think we're off the air, right?
Well, yeah, just a moment.